Back again with another video. This video is kind of a concern. Last couple of calls I've been getting on some love work. I've been finding out the man who left, mostly the men, hooking up with the other female, and finding out the other female probably put some kind of work on him. I don't know if this is beginning to be more prevalent or what, or I'm just getting people that just happen to have this circumstance happening to them. But I just wanted to say, when this is going on, it makes it a little bit harder for the work, especially if the other lady had put work on your man to begin with. Just because we know root work and things like that, we have no idea what other spell is, what other work was. It could be anything from domination work, binding work to her, control, and things like that. And it just seems that's just on a man that they hadn't reached out to say the client or the potential customer when they call in me. So a lot of that work has to be taken in consideration. Things has to be done a little bit different if you think work is going on to your man. And it's hard to find out exactly what's going on, what kind of work it is. But when the caller calls up, you sit down doing the interview, everything was fine, and in 2 weeks all of a sudden they changed from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde. Just walked out the house for no reason, straight to the other woman's house. I had a client recently said that it seems like the new woman doesn't want the man to try to rest, try to clear his thoughts and stuff. She's always constantly keeping him moving, keeping his mind going. That's a sure sign of some kind of work being put on him. It's granted it'll probably weak work, but she doesn't want him to sit there and start clearing his mind, start thinking of things. So that kind of work tells me it's weak. So any kind of work that's put out needs to be a little bit stronger. I mean, it may have to go all the way up to the point where it's in a tranquil spirit honey jaw. I know a lot of people are nervous about that and hear that word and get all nervous and frustrated and don't want to do it. But then sometimes it has to be done. Okay? You got to fight fire with fire. It's known on the street, if you get resistance, your force has to be over the resistance that is being put upon you. And it's something that you have to check, because just because somebody says there might be work going on, maybe not. I mean, maybe not, but there are signs. I mean, so if you need to call about some work and you think that's going on, watch out for the signs, or try to remember the signs that brought you up to the point where you talk to me or any other root worker. There's certain signs that just scream out work on the other person. So if you think that's a problem, try to get an idea of it, try to get a grasp of it so you can pass it on to the root worker. It helps a lot. Like I said, you can be the best root worker in the world, and you may have to go to a reader and let the reader try to figure out what's going on, what kind of work it is, so you can dismantle the work and get your work in. But it does make it harder. It does take a little bit longer. And I just wanted to make this video so the potential clients know that. And if you feel that there's work going on that brought you up to the point of separation, just sit back and try to remember some of the root causes, some of the signs that was going on. A person just changing all of a sudden, doing sporadic things all of a sudden, and going straight in the arms of another person. That's usually good signs that's going on. So that's a little tip. If anybody thinks that their lover has some kind of work put on them, and just try to sit back before you call and jot down some of the things that you might remember. So I wanted to make the video and try to pass that on. It'll make it easier for the root worker, and it'd be easier for the client too. So I just wanted to pass that on. Like always, like, share, and subscribe.